Let's talk about weaponized incompetence. I'm pretty sure that you all have experienced this with the narcissist. Now, everybody who does this, they're not necessarily a narcissist, but they have some other, like attachment styles. But we're not going to get into that. This is specifically towards for the narcissist. So, weaponized incompetence is when the narcissist gets out of doing something that needs to be done. So, for example, let's talk about the with cooking, okay, which could be a shared responsibility. You know, if it's just you and the narcissist, maybe you and the narcissist have children. Everybody got to eat. You know, who's the one that's supposed to be in the kitchen? Anyone who has two hands, are old enough, and has a stomach and a mouth. Because we all need to eat food, okay? And we all need to eat healthy food if we want to live long enough and be able to go out here and do the things that we need to do, right? Well, what the narcissist would do, even if they don't know how to cook. I mean, here's the thing. Everybody can be taught how to do something, right? And don't get me wrong, some people can burn water. Like my grandmother used to always say, usually she taught my grandfather how to cook, and he could cook real well after she taught him how to cook. But she was like, boy, when I met him, this man didn't know how to boil water, or something like that. She said. I was cracking up. But anyway, she taught him how to cook. And next thing you know, like they could have opened a whole restaurant on the south side of Chicago called Casey's Ribs, because this man would be in Washington Park, especially the Bud Billiken Parade, baby. He would brine those ribs, and folks would be looking for him for those ribs. And my grandmother would cook the sides and stuff. They had a whole thing going. But the point is, he was willing to learn something, that a skill set that he didn't know how to do at first. Okay. But what the narcissist will do is they, their hands broke, right? They wrist gave out or whatever. They don't know how to do it, and they don't even want to learn. As a matter of fact, they will run away from it. Weaponize incompetence. Or what they'll do is, they're you give them a task, and they will do it wrong. Like they will mess it up, like utterly destroy it, so that you will never ask them to do it again. And it's like, oh, forget it, I'll do it. But think about this. How many, not only how many times, but different things. Different things. So the first thing would maybe start with cooking. And then next thing you know, it may be something else. Maybe it's something with the home repairs. And not that everybody, I mean, look, I don't know how to do certain home repairs, and I'm not gonna do them, but I will pay somebody, right? Like it needs to be done. I will pay somebody. I will do what I can, but then I'll pay somebody. Well, the narcissist will not do that. The children, a diaper, right? Like you have the baby, baby diaper needs to be changed. And so if both of you all's first rodeo with a baby, both of you have to learn how to change a diaper. Well, the narcissist will act like they don't know what they're doing. They can't do it. Oh, see, I messed it up. I can't do it. Next thing you know, not only are you on diaper duty all the time, but then you're on all of the duties when it comes to the baby, because they will act like they can't do anything. Weaponized incompetence. It gets to the point where you find yourself doing everything, and they absolve themselves of all responsibility and all accountability. Out there in public, they will put on a different face. They will be the hero and all of that. But inside, their hands broke. They don't know how to do anything. Well, as you can see, what does that do? Over time, that will build up resentment in you, which is not good. It's not good. The emotion of resentment held in the body for long periods of time, it can manifest into sickness, illness, disease, debilitating conditions. What I often see is certain cancers and certain autoimmune diseases, heart attack, and stroke, even. Negative trapped emotions held in the body and not expressed and not released will cause sickness, illness, disease, debilitating conditions. And this is why it is often said that the relationship with the narcissist is toxic, because all of these emotions held in your body from the things that the narcissist is doing and not doing, like weaponized incompetence. Again, emotionally, it starts to eat you up and take a toll on your body. Physically, now you're exhausted because you're doing everything. You're doing the cooking, you're doing the cleaning, you're doing the sewing, you're doing the baking, you're trying to figure out the finances, you working, you're doing everything pretty much. And then there's a show that's put out there in the, around you all, that, oh, they're doing this and that and they're doing so much and all, they're helping and all, all of that. And then, again, alone at home, weaponized incompetence. Okay. So what do you do? Because we could talk about it and say what it is all day and all night long, but what do you do in those cases? Well, you're going to have to stop, because when you say, you know what, forget it, I'll do it, because it does have to be done. You have to sit down and weigh your pros and cons. What will you do because it needs to be done, because maybe it would be life threatening? And then the things that they want to weaponize it, you have to stop. You just have to stop. If you Now, I am one that, oh my gosh, the house, I do not like dirty environments. I don't. I can't even function well in one. Okay. Now, I'm not OCD or anything like that, but I I I mean, I don't have it like showroom ready, but you pick up after yourself, you clean up stuff, you write stuff down, all of that, okay? But not going to clean up after 50,000 people either. You see what I'm saying? And so if you have to sit there and just clean up around your space, whatever it is that won't have you go insane, everything else, you need to leave. Like, for real. I'm not saying you need to leave, like leave the relationship or whatever, but I mean, eventually that's going to end up happening. But I'm talking about, you need to just leave things the way that they're going to be. Right? I mean, most often when people come into someone's house and say it's in a disarray, of course, the first thing they do is look at the woman. It just is what it is. That's what they do. However, it doesn't matter. You know, you know why you've had to leave whatever it is on that side, or this on that side, or that on that side, because if you left it to the narcissist to do and they don't do it, and again, and it's life threatening. I mean, if it's not life threatening, it's just something that will not, you have to just chalk it up and say, you know what, it won't be done. It'll fall apart. It will fall apart, break down, or whatever before I do it, because that is what they want you to do. They don't want to do it. And it's not, again, it's not because they can't, it's because they won't. And they want other people to be their servants. And if you're not getting paid for the job, this is one of the ways that you will absolve yourself from being their enabler, because that's what happens. You enable them when you step in to do all the things that they need to be, number one, responsible for, and accountable for.